Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank you all for coming today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nhi, and I am a group leader of Group 7. So, let me give you an example. When you see the staff don't want to work anymore or they work passively, as a manager, what you should do? Yeah, as a manager, you should consider what's wrong with them and find out a reason, and then you have to support and motivate them. But we all know that each person they will have different personalities, so it's hard to motivate them in the same way. Um, as you see, motivation is a key topic in organizational behavior. And in our lesson, you will learn some useful theories that we can apply in motivating the others. Before we start our lessons, let me introduce to you my teammate. There are 4 teammates, include me, in group 7. The first teammate is me, and in this lesson, I will help you to understand what is motivation and what are its 3 key elements. The second member is Ngan. She will help you to understand what is the four early theories of needs in motivation, which is very useful in motivations. The next member is Nhan, who will help you to understand some perspective, temporary theories that could be applied in motivation too. The last but not least member is Hoang Vy, who will help you to understand and find out the reason some of the why some theories could not apply in any situation, and the most issue is come from the culturally bound. So, in our lesson, what will you learn? Well, you will learn 8 objectives. The first objective is you could define the motivation and its 3 key elements. The next, you could understand what is 4 early theories of needs in motivation. Then you can compare and contrast the goal-seeking theory and the management by objectives. You could contrast the reference theory and goal-setting theory. Then you could apply the key techniques of expectancy theory to motivate your employees better. Next, you could compare the temporary theories of motivation, and you could demonstrate how organizational justice is a refinement of equity theory. Last but not least, you can easily explain what degree motivation theories are culture about. Ladies and gentlemen, our lesson will take about 30 minutes, so you should take note for easy learning, and we will upload this clip to YouTube, so that is for your easy learning. So let's begin the first part. What is motivation? So let's give yourself 5 seconds to think what is motivation. Okay, so simply to understand motivation is you have to do something that make the other feel better, and give them the best conditions, so that is that they can uh, achieve their goals. So that is motivations. For the obey organizational behavior, we define the motivation as a process that accounts for an individual's intensity, dedications, and persistence of effort toward attaining a goal. While general motivation is concerned with effort toward any goal, we will narrow the focus to organizational goals. So, what are the 3 key elements? The first key element is the intensity. Describes how hard a person tries. This is the element most of us focus when we talk about the motivations. However, high intensity is unlikely to lead to a favorable job performance outcomes unless the effort is channeled in directions that benefits to organization. Therefore, we consider the quality of the effort as well as its intensity. Effort directed toward and consistent with the organization's goals is a kind of effort we should be seeking. Finally, motivation has a persistence dimension. This measures how long a person can maintain effort. Motivated individuals stay with a task longer enough to achieve their goals. So next part, I will we will move to the second part. Is the four early theories that of needs that you could apply in motivations your employees in the future. So the next part will be instructed by my teammate Song Nang.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Ngan, and I will continue the next part, the early theories of motivations. In this chapter, we will discuss four theories. They are Maslow hierarchy of need theories, McCormick's theory X and theory Y, McClellan theory of need, and Herbert two-factor theories. Let's start with the famous, the best known one, the Maslow hierarchies of need theories. In this theory, Maslow assumed that human beings have five basic and hierarchical needs: physiological, safety, social belongingness, esteem, and self-actualization. Humans will experience demand from the lowest to the highest needs described in the form of pyramids. Once they met the low need, they tend to reach to the higher one. So if you want to motivate someone, you need to interpret the hierarchical level that person is currently at and focus on satisfying the need at or below level. What are the five needs? The original five needs are psychological, include hunger, thirst, shelter, sex, and other bodies need. Let me take an example. Imagine a bird without oxygen for 5 seconds will start dying, right? Oxygen is an essential requirement for the survival of all living beings. Eating and drinking are also essential for staying healthy. Food and water are, in fact, the two basic requirements for our survival. Air, food, and water come under psychological need, which it must be satisfied before moving to another need. Safety, securities. Safety security means securities and protections from the physics and emotion harm. For example, when you have a to breathe, you need you need the fresh air, you need unpolluted water, you need good food, you need a big shelter. Is about the that is the safety net. um, Social belongingness is means affections, belongingness, acceptance, and friendship. Example for this is the perfect family relationship and friendship. People all some people are really tend to desire to have this relationship. Not having a good family relationship, support from loved one, and good friends can make people feel lonely, which will not help him him or her to satisfy his need of his or her need of love and belongingness. To avoid the problems that loneliness, depressions, anxieties, it is important for us to have a healthy social life. um, Personal relationship with friend, family, and lover play an important role, so as being associated with other group like religious group, sport team, book club, etc. will fall into the categories of social belongingness. Next is esteem, internal factor, which is internal factors such as self-respect, autonomy, and achievement, and external factors such as status, recognition, and attention. Let's have a clear and familiar example. When a student is motivated and appreciated, he or she tend to increase his or her academic performance rate as compared to less motivated student. An excellent academics result will increase her recognition in school and society, which will increase the confidence, respect, and esteem of students. It also belongs to self-esteem. The highest need is self-actualizations, which means it's right to become what we are capable and becoming, include growth, achievement, our potential, and self-fulfillment. Um, an example for this is life is not about making more money or having a luxurious home or family. It's about making ourselves potential. A human being feel more satisfied when he or she understand he or she realize his or her full potential. It comes under self-actualizations in which a person understand his core strengths. For instance, one person might achieve this feeling of self-actualization by working at NASA, while others can achieve it by teaching children in a small town. Everyone has different paramount of self-actualization. And it doesn't mean that you have to become famous to achieve self actualizations. It's about reaching our potentials and understanding our creativity, whether by becoming a painter, a politician, teachers, or even an actors. The next theories is Gogut, theory X and theory Y. The concept of theory X and theory Y were developed by a social psychologist named Gogut. It describes the contrasting set of assumptions that managers make about their pupil, which means employee. Theory X mean people dislike work, have little ambitions, and unwilling to take responsibility with the work. In this case, managers with this assumption motivate their people, employees using a gig carrot and stick approach, which reward good performance and punished poor performance. Theory-wise means people are self-motivated and enjoy the challenge of work. They full of responsibility with the work they do. Managers with this assumption will have more cooperative relationship with their employee and motivate them by allowing them to work on their own initiative, give them responsibility, and empower them to make decisions. Through your assumption about what motivates your employee will likely have the biggest impact on of these two approaches you take. Your choice can also be shaped by several other factors. These include your organizational structures, the type of work that your employee do, their skill level. Let me take Google as an example. Uh, uh, the the principle of theory why are clearly uh, at play at Google. Organizations which view its workers as a source of creativity and inspirations. At an information technology companies, the workers effectively are the companies. It's their it is their effort that make it profitable and cutting edge. This concept is completely the reserve of the theory X or Taylorism, which view the corporation owner as the only innovator and managers at the liar tamer of lazy, hostile, host, hostile employees. Engineer at Google are even given free rein to pursue and construct their own personal projects. We offer our engineer 20% time so that they're free to work on and they're really passionate about. That is Google said to their employee. The third theory is Herbert two-factor theory. The two factors identified by Herbert are motivators and hygiene factors. The presence of motivators cause employees to work harder. They are found within the actual job itself. The, the, the absence of hygiene factor will cause employees to work less hard. Hygiene factor is not present in the actual job itself but surround the job. The impact of motivating and hygiene factors is summarized in the following diagram. Note that you will often see motivator referred to as factors for dissatisfaction with easily related to intrinsic, which mean internal factors, and hygiene factors referred to as factors for dissatisfactions, which is related to extrinsic, which mean external factors. Example of motivating and hygiene factors are shown in the following diagram. Motivating factors include achievement. A job must give an employee a sense of achievement. This will provide a proud feeling of having done something difficult but worthwhile. Recognition. The job must provide an employee with praise and recognition of their successes. This recognition should come from both superior, superior and their peer. The work itself, the job itself must be interest, vary, and provide enough a challenge to keep employee motivated. Responsibilities: employee should own their work. They should hold themselves responsible for this completions and not feeling as though they are being micromanaged. Advancement: promotions opportunities should exist for the employee. Grow: the job should give employee the opportunity to learn new skill. This can happen either on a job or through a formal training. Hygiene factor include company policies. This should be fair. The policy should be fair and clear to every employee. They must be equivalent to the competitors. Supervisions must be fair and appropriate. The employee should be given as much autonomy as is reasonable. Relationship: there should be no tolerance of bullying or clique. A healthy, amenable, and appropriate relationship should exist between peer, superior, and subordinate. Work conditions, equipment, and the job environment should be safe, fit for purpose, and hygienic. Salary: The pay structures should be fair and reasonable. It should also be competitive with other organizations in the same industry. Status: the organizations should maintain the status of all employees within the organizations performing meaningful work can provide a sense of status. Securities: it is important that employees that feel their job is secure and they are not under the constant threat or of being laid off. The final theory is Maxwell's theory of need. Maxwell said that regardless of your gender, culture, or age, we all have three motivating drivers, and one of these will be our dominant motivating driver. This dominant motivator is largely depend on our cultures and life experience. These characteristics are summarized by a table below. As you can see on the screen, the first characteristic is achievement. The people who have achievements characteristic will have a strong need to set an accomplishment challenging goal. They take calculated risks to accomplish their goal. They like to receive regular feedback on their progress and achievement. They like to work alone. Affiliations. He's the one who want to belong to a group. They want to be like, and will often go with along with whatever the rest of the group want to do. They favor collaborations over competitions. It doesn't like high risk or uncertainties. Power. People who have power want to control and influence others. They like to win argument. They enjoy competitions and winning. They enjoy status and recognitions. I have some note that though with strong power, motivators are often divided into two groups: personal and institutional. People with personal power want to control others, while people with an institution power try to organize the effort of a team to further company's goal. As you can probably imagine, those with an institutional power you are usually more desirable as team member. You wonder how to use this theory or the benefits of these theories in management. Let me show you. Maxwell's theory can help you to identify the dominant motivators of people in your team. You can use this information to influence how you set the goal in your team, provide your feedback, and how you motivate and reward team members. You can also use the motivators in craft or design the job around your team member, ensure a better fit. This is the end of my part. Let's go to the next part. Keep watching for more interesting knowledge.
Hello, my name is Nhan. So next, we will discuss about six theory theories of motivation that represent the lasting thinking in explaining impulsive motivation. Firstly, self-determination theory. What does it mean? It concerns the beneficial effects of intrinsic motivation and the harmful effects of extrinsic motivation. It means that people prefer to feel in charge of their actions and freedom to choose. Much research of self-determination theory in OB had focused on cognitive evaluation theory. Intrinsically motivated individuals perform for their achievement and satisfaction. In fact, This theory mentions that extrinsic rewards will reduce intrinsic interest in tasks. In other words, your boss, who is always dangling these rewards, will turn up the intrinsically motivated people who need other interests. For example, more responsibility in work, in tasks, making decisions, promotion, power, compliments, or training, so on, and pursuing goals from intrinsic motives is more sustaining human motivation. Self-confidence. People's reasons for pursuing goals are consistent with their core value and interests. That means people who pursue work goals with intrinsic motivation are more likely to be satisfied in their job, feel like they feel fit into their organization better, and of course, they perform better. Sum up, you should choose your job for reasons of core value rather than extrinsic factor like money. Yes, for example. Next, goal setting theory. This theory suggests that specific goals increase performance. Difficult goals result in higher performance than easy ones plus feedback. Yes, of course, people do better when they give feedback on how well they are progressing toward their goal because it helps people identify the differences between what they have done and what to do next, guiding behavior. Let's talk about a goal performance relationship. They are influenced by goal commitment, which is one likely to occur when the goals are self-set rather than assigned and sometimes based on individual ability. It also depends on task characteristics, easy or difficult, novel or normal, group or individual, and national culture is very different. Next, self-efficacy theories. It describes an individual belief that they could be capable of accomplishing a job. The higher your self-efficacy, the more confidence you have in your ability to succeed. So, how could we increase self-efficacy in yourself? First, inactive mastery. When you meet a task, you recognize that you could gain relevant experience that has been successful in the past, and you're more confident to do it in the future. Secondly, vicarious modeling. That means you become confident because you see someone else doing the task. You only imitate it. For example, you see your friend quit smoking and it boosts your confidence to quit too. Next, verbal persuasion. It's quite simple. You will be motivated if someone convinces you you have necessary skill to do this task. Finally, arousal could increase self-efficacy. It leads to energized stage and perform better. Next, that is reinforcement theory. It says that the behavior is a function of its consequence, or people see behavior as environmentally caused. This theory ignores the inner state of the individual and only concentrates on what happens when people take action. In operant conditioning theory, people learn to behave to get something they like and avoid something they don't want. Next, equity theory. Or some people say that organizational justice. Individuals compare their job inputs, efforts, experience, education, and outcomes, such as base, promotion, recognition. with those of order and then respond to eliminate any inequality. Therefore, employees who perceive inequity will make one of six choices: change inputs, exert less effort if underpaid or more if overpaid, change outcome. Individuals based on a piece rate basis can increase their base by reducing a high quantity of units of lower quality. Next, distorts perception of self. People used to think they work at a moderate pace, but now they realize they should work a lot harder than anyone else. Distort perception of order. His job isn't as desirable as they thought. Choose a different reference, using a different factor to express ourselves, and leaving the field, quitting the top. Our national justice, an overall perception of what is fair in the workplace, including distributed justice, the fairness of outcomes such as pay, increments workers receive. Employees tend to perceive their outcomes unfair when they distribute their tasks equally. Procedural justice. How outcomes are allocated. Procedures are fair when they are given opinion to making decisions and decision makers follow the rules such as avoiding discrimination, using accurate information. If outcomes are favorable and people get what they want, they don't care about process. And in contrast, if outcomes are not favorable, they pay close attention to the process of organization. Of course, if you get the rewards, you are happy. Why you care about process? International justice. The degree to which employees are treated with dignity and respect. It occurs every day in interaction between manager and employee. Some choose respectful or polite treatment, or some choose aggressive one to motivate. Finally, the theories this involving expectancy. This theory focuses on three relationships among effort, performance, reward, and personal goal. Firstly, effort performance relationship. Individual that exerting amount of efforts will lead to performance. For example, if they give maximum effort, do they receive the performance appraisal? Yeah, but people will be more motivated only if the link between performance and effort are perceived. Secondly, performance reward relationship. Individuals believe that they will receive a desired income if performing at a particular level. For example, if they get a performance appraisal, will lead to organization rewards. And finally, rewards personal goal relationship. Organizational rewards satisfy the personal goals and the attractiveness of those potential rewards of the individual. For example, if I'm rewarded, are rewards attractive to me? Yeah, in the real world function, some managers incorrectly assume all employees have the same interests. First, overlooking the motivational efforts of different rewards. It is very important.
Hello, my name is Hoang Vy, and I will present to you about global implication. Today, we also know that many for companies also operate in the global marketplace. This means that they are doing their business in various countries. The problem can arise simply because of the cultural differences between countries. a company has to ensure that the worker they hire in other countries feel at ease with the company operation procedure, while this allows company to have a higher earning potential. It's also opened them up to many problems, and we can understand globalization means that the integration of culture, politics, and economy between different countries. Next, this is the meaning of theories on globalization. And the first, motivation theories are often bound by culture. And we have Maslow hierarchy of needs theory. I will indicate to you one example that company owners set policy for their employer to push them to work more efficiently by bloating milk, but foreign employee may not have a reference for native food, like the Indonesian. They don't eat pork. Most of them are Muslim. So order of needs is not universal. And next is McClellan's Harry's three needs. McClellan need achievement theory postulates that some people are driven to succeed through seeking personal achievement rather than reward themselves. This theory is readily applicable to academic environment and explains why some teachers are high achievers. Despite the difficulty they face, they set themselves high goals, and achieving this goal is what drives them. For instance, on individual level, Japanese people today are judged primarily on their education, not on family status, on social status, and income. So it's not universal trait. And Adam equity theory, an example in the salary comparison between a Vietnamese and a European have the same productivity. A company in Vietnam pays a salary of $500 per month. For Vietnamese people, that salary may be just enough for them to live their life, so they are satisfied with that salary. But for a European, $500 is not big salary, and they are not happy with that salary. So, while their productivity can be paid higher in European companies, so a desire for equity is not universal. And next, that desire for interesting work seems to be universal. There is some evidence that the intrinsic factor of hyper to factor theories may be universal because of everyone want to be encouraged to include achievement, the recognition of others, the nature of work, job responsibility, advancement and progress, and the prospect of development. So all of that, I can conclude that the theory cannot be applied everywhere, especially globally, and because they depend on many other factors, national culture, native and education, race, and economies. So next, Nhi will summarize to you on this chapter.
This leads us to the end of our lesson, but before we stop, let me summarize you and give you some material implications. In this lesson, we find out the four neat theories, even though they are well known to us, but not very good behavioral predictions. Why the goal-setting, reference, and equity and expectancy theory are the best known in predicting the other's behaviors. Goal-setting sometimes makes some limitation in scope. Reference theory is useful in predictor in many work areas. Equity theory is best known for research in organizational justice. Last but not least, is expectancy theory is a good predictions. Predictors are performance variables, but shares of many assumptions are rational decision making. So this is the end of our lesson. If you have any question, give us a comment, and if you're concerned, so that is we will give you a hand to understand our lessons carefully. So thank you for listening. I wish that you will have the useful knowledge and the useful lessons that you could apply in your future job. Thank you.